Hi, my name's Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. I'm happy to have you. And if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. So today I don't really have much to talk about. I have been in one of those modes where, okay, let me just listen. Let me be around people and just let them do the talking and let me just listen. And I don't know if you ever get to that point in your life where you just don't feel like talking much. You just want to listen. Well, that's me. And you know what? It almost carried over to me being on this podcast, because there's times where I don't feel like talking. And at this moment, I just thought I'd share that with you. I know I'm a hot mess, but hey, what am I going to do? You know, when I actually, there are times where I actually get in front of this mic and I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. I don't know what I'm going to say, but then there are times where I do have something to say, something that is of substance, something that I believe can help other people in their own lives as well as it has helped me in my own. So just like in your life, you've gone through something, and if you were to explain it or tell a story about it, you may not think it might be hold much weight or be of significance to anybody, but yes, it is. It holds weight to someone who might be going through it, somebody who might be experiencing what you've gone through, and your take can be the catalyst to get them over the hump that they're in, or the moment that they're in where they feel that they're a little lost, they're a little stuck, or a little confused, or contemplating on something. Your ideas might be the thing that they need to hear to move them forward in life. So that's one of the reasons why I really like to get on this podcast and talk, because we never know what somebody else might be going through or what they're feeling. And we're hoping to, as we talk on these podcasts, that it's also a way of letting people know you're not alone. I felt that, I've gone through it, or I might be going through that, or wow, I might listen to another podcast and say, you know what, I've never heard it said that way before, but now that brings a different perspective in for me. So talking on the podcast really works. I really enjoy being on the podcast, and sometimes it takes me away from maybe a frustrated day that I might have, and give me a little pleasure in my day just talking, and hopefully one day somebody might hear some of my thoughts, some of my experiences. And today I had a good experience. I was with somebody while I was working, and we had such a great conversation. I almost didn't want that conversation to end, but you know, with every good thing there must be an end to it, right? So every now and then we come across somebody who have experienced the same thing we have, or they might indulge in the same thing that you indulge, or have the same interests in life, and at that moment you say, wow, I feel connected to that person on a professional level, on a creativity level. And you know, when I go out and meet people every single day, I have conversations with total strangers, but some of the conversations are just absolutely mind-blowing, where you don't know why you entered into this establishment, and you wind up talking about why you're there, and all of a sudden that conversation shifts, and you are talking about life, you're talking about spiritual things, you're talking about all sorts of things, and you wonder, was I meant to go in that establishment, not to talk about insurance or anything, not to talk about sales, but to talk and to be talk on a level that resonates with each other about life. And that conversation is something that you take with you and you remember that conversation. And I'm quite sure I'm not the only one who's gone through that. I'm quite sure you've probably been in a position, you've probably been online at a store and you sparked up, or someone sparked up a conversation with you, and all of a sudden you just automatically click. You might have even become friends. You wonder, this universe, out of all the people, you just happen to meet that one person, and that one person you just click with. And there are times in my journey I've gone through that, where I've met one person and I'm like, wow, that person comes back maybe a year later and said, we had a conversation, I don't know if you remember me, but we talked about XYZ, and that conversation stuck with me, and it had me change my entire destiny. It had me change the path that I was on. And you made me think about something that I contemplated on many times, and this time, after speaking with you, I went full force and I went and did this. And you be like, what? Oh my God. And just from the conversation we had, yeah. So if I hadn't met you, I don't know where I would be right now, maybe stuck in the same old job or the same old position. And you'd be surprised. You say to yourself, wow, that person, and this is funny because that person went on and changed their life. Wait a minute, I'm still in the same position. So what did I not get from that conversation? You know what? I just had to say that, but in reality, sometimes that was true. You know, I've met a couple of people who we had such a bonding moment, and their life went on to change in drastic ways. And I wonder, am I the medium? Am I the person who was supposed to talk to them at that moment and tell them something that they needed to hear so they could move in the direction that they were supposed to move in? So I don't know, but you often wonder, you meet random people in life, and all of a sudden these random encounters, they mean something profound. Whether you might notice it now, or you might notice in 5 to 10, maybe even 15 years from now. But it's intriguing. I mean, it's so intriguing where you just like, wow, if I wouldn't have met that one person, I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have did this. Something clicked in me with that conversation with that person. Sort of like me starting this podcast, wanting to start the podcast out of fear. I never did. Having a conversation with my grandson prompted me to say, you know what? The time is now. Let me do it. Let me just go ahead and let me have this moment and start. So that's pretty much all I got for you today. I want you to listen to these new instrumentals that I created, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. But thanks a lot, and thank you so much for listening. And do me a favor, like, subscribe, and do me another favor, share this podcast with family, friends, co-workers, and associates. Be blessed and have a great day. Bye-bye. You're listening to The Last Podcast.